What's up, guys? It's Brewing Skeleton, here to bring you another Minecraft Java Edition Let's Play. You may have noticed if you watched the last episode that this is not where I left off. I did not have a farm last episode. That's because, I forgot to start the recording. That was, a moment of carelessness. It is currently 1 a.m. I was having a hard time sleeping, so I decided to get up and record an episode of the Let's Play instead, just because I was having a hard time sleeping. And so I'm kind of sleepy right now, right? I just forgot to start the recording, or maybe I paused it and then didn't continue it. I don't know, but so anyways, I was gonna make some farms this episode. Pardon me if I'm a bit sleepy, I'm gonna have to be a bit quieter because it's, quite late. But so I'm gonna be working on some farms this episode. I did get started on that one. So, yeah, I'm just gonna be picking up where I left off. Sorry about the missing footage. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and rip all of this up. I don't think I'll need it. I don't want it to be kind of cluttering the side of the river. So I'll also go ahead and stamp it out too. So I was talking about some things. I guess I'll have to explain them again. I was doing some messing around with the recording settings for the Xbox 360 Let's Play. I used OBS to record, but this time around, since I have an NVIDIA graphics card, I'm using the NVIDIA software to record. NVIDIA has a default recording program that you can use, and I've decided to use that instead because it's a lot less demanding. So anyways, where I'm going with this, I was doing some messing around, and I figured out that you can separate the system audio and the microphone audio into separate tracks. And that's gonna be really useful, because in the first episode the audio was a lot too loud. The system audio, I mean, like the music and stuff, you get it. It was a lot too loud. But with this setting enabled, it'll be a lot easier to prevent stuff like that. So, it'll be quite nice. I'm gonna have to think of something else to do, because just creating some farms isn't gonna be enough. I don't know what else I'm gonna do. It'll just have to be something. I know. I think after I finish these farms, I'm gonna get in a boat, and I'm gonna sail along the river to see what I can find. I always like doing that because sometimes it leads to an ocean, and oceans are a great place to explore because you can get a lot of loot from shipwrecks and stuff. That's not something I could really do on the Xbox 360 Let's Play because the limited world sizes. First of all, oceans aren't very big. Second of all, I was not in the 1.13 update. So, exploring oceans, that's not something I could do in the Xbox 360 Let's Play. So, I shall be glad to take advantage of it for this Java Let's Play. I think the sugarcane one could probably go here. What? Horse? What are you doing down there? I don't want to bury this. I was gonna cover up this hole, but I don't want to bury the horse alive, so I guess I'll go ahead and rescue it. Alright, get on up, horse. I'm not gonna bury you alive down here. Okay. I've decided to... I'm not sure if anyone will be interested in this, but I decided might as well give it a try. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Only one way to find out. I'm gonna share a few funny work stories of mine. I have a job now. I like it quite a lot. It's a good job. I figured it would be funny to share some stories that I have experienced. So yeah, I guess I'll just get started. Here's a funny one. So I work at a sporting goods store. So I work at a sporting goods store. There's a handful of regular customers. Not too many, but there are a few. One of them is named Sally. You'd be hard-pressed to call her a customer, because she hardly ever actually buys anything. What she does is this really annoying thing where she'll always come into the store. Okay, every time she comes into the store, she always does the same exact thing. So she comes into the store, she'll browse around for a little bit, and then she'll come up to the counter carrying some items of clothing. It's always clothing, never anything else. And then she'll ask you how much they cost. And so you tell them, you tell her how much the items cost. And then she'll ask you, oh yeah, can you put these on hold for me? I will be back tomorrow to get them. And then she never comes back to get them. It was really funny because earlier today I was just hanging out at the register, and then I saw Sally start to walk up, and one of my managers is there at the register with me, and so he also sees Sally approaching, and he starts writing a hold tag in advance before Sally even enters the building. I just thought that was really funny. I cracked up laughing at that, because that's all she ever does. She just never actually buys anything, just puts it on hold and then forgets about it. That one's a pretty funny story. I like sharing that one. It's pretty inoffensive. She's annoying, but it could be a lot worse. There are plenty I could share that are a lot worse, but I'm gonna try and keep it to the ones that are just kind of silly or goofy. I don't want to bring down the vibe too much. I'm gonna need some more sugar cane, probably after I sleep. I went ahead and I put it all down over there. Just gonna need more if I want to fill up the farm entirely. Oh, I've just thought of an awesome story to share. It involves a person named Alonzo. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I only ever heard his name once. But his name was Alonzo or Angelo or something like that. So this guy, Angelo, we'll start at the beginning. So he calls the store and he asks if we have any mattress pads. So mattress pads as in pads that you put underneath your sleeping bag or in your sleeping bag in order to make it more comfortable. So he calls and asks if we have them. And a coworker was the one who responded to this call, not me. So this coworker says, yeah, we sell them, would you like me to put one on hold for you? And so that's what happens. This coworker of mine puts a mattress pad on hold for Alonzo. And so then, fast forward later that night, Angelo, he calls the store again to ask if the mattress pad is still on hold. This time I'm the one who answers the call. And so I answer the call, I start talking to him. And so he asks me, he's like, oh yeah, is it still on hold? I put this mattress pad on hold. And so I go to the back and I check. And so I tell him, yeah, the pad is still on hold. You can come in at any time and get it. And then out of nowhere, he mentions oh yeah, I got these psychedelic shrooms. It'll make you feel like you're floating, spiritualism and all that. And I just kind of freeze, what? Why is this guy bringing this up with me? I was so confused. I had no idea why he was talking about it. And so I just kind of awkwardly chuckle and say, yeah, sounds like fun. Have a good night. And so I, we say our goodbyes and hang up the phone. And so then this guy, he comes in later that night. Okay, I'm gonna start my exploring now because the farms are complete. But anyways, this guy, he comes in at night and he gets his mattress pad. And I thought that would be the end of it. But no. He starts talking to us. And I intentionally say to us rather than with us. Because it was an entirely one-sided conversation. This guy started talking about anything and everything that was going on in his life. Talked about his family and like why he's in town. He was traveling from out of town. Ooh, nice ocean, looks like. He was talking about anything and everything that crossed his mind. You just kept going on and on, leaving us like no room to respond or to tell him to leave or whatever. And so this guy, he stays at the store probably like 2 hours just yapping. And so it's really weird. He had like, ooh, more carrots, I need those. He had like all these weird inconsistencies in what he talked about. Like he said that he was being really stingy with his money. He said that he had a budget of $50, but he also was riding a $5,000 e-bike. And I know how much it costs because he told us how much it costs. And so it was really weird because it's like, okay, is this guy rich? Is he poor? You know, what's his deal? And so all of the interactions were really confusing like that. So eventually the guy leaves for the night, and you think that might be the end of it, but no, there's more. He comes back. Ooh, a mending helmet. I like that. He comes back the next day to talk to us some more. I think he bought something too, but I don't remember what it was. And so he called in the morning, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's me, Anzalo." And he says the well-rested, refreshed version of Anzalo. It was really strange. And so he comes in, and he starts talking, you know, doing the regular thing. Not much to report, just still talking about anything and everything. And if you think it's over, well, guess what? It's still not over, because he came in for a third day. 3 days in a row he came into this store and talked our ears off. But then finally, he disappeared after that. He was traveling from out of state, so I guess he must have gone on back home. But yeah, it's a wild story. Me and one of my managers, whenever we talk about him, we always call him our dear friend. I think it's pretty funny. Here's that treasure. Got some iron, some gold, and some emeralds. Like that a lot. That story ended up being a lot longer than I was expecting. Ended up kind of talking your ear off. That's all I'm going to share. If you liked them, let me know. I can always share more stories about my life if people are interested. I'm going to kind of hone back in on Minecraft for now. In this ocean, figure I might as well do some exploring of this ocean. Okay, here's a, I don't know what these are called exactly, but I know they have sometimes decent loot. Let's check it out. Oh dear. That's a trident guy. Uh-oh, I may be in over my head. Whoa! Oh no. That could have been the end of me. Quite easily. I want that trident. I love tridents. Even if they're not always the most practical weapon to use, I love tridents. I'm gonna see if I can get that. You know, maybe it's a mistake using gold for armor, but I'm gonna need all the armor I can get. hardly ever use gold for anything else, so might as well. I always present myself as pretty chill in these Let's Plays, but in reality, I have been playing in Minecraft for a very long time. I like to think I'm pretty good at the game. So you're going to see a taste of pro brewing skeleton here. Okay, no trident from him, but there was a second one inside there. Yes! No way! I got it! Oh, I love that! That will give me a project to work on. Because, I love getting tridents, especially in the early game. Tridents, they're not exactly the most optimal weapon to use. At least in Java Edition, they're really good in Bedrock, but for Java Edition, there are a lot of better options out there. But despite that, I really love tridents. So that will give me a goal to work towards. I can get myself some enchanted books, and I can get this thing into a usable condition. Now I think with that, I'm gonna head home, because it is nighttime, you know. There's a shipwreck over there. Do not believe I looted that one. Let's take a look-see. Coal, armor trims, Frostwalker boots. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if that will be useful or not, but it's cool. Ooh, another treasure map. It could be the same one. That tends to happen sometimes, but we'll see. This appears to be different, actually. I'm gonna see if I can get this. I am strong enough to be out at night, so it shouldn't be a huge problem. The only potential issue with doing this is inventory space, because my inventory is extremely cluttered. Wait, I have a bed. I forgot that I had a bed. I could just sleep here and now. Okay, well not here and now, because I'm in the middle of the ocean, but once I get to land, I could sleep. Oh, there's a village over there. I saw the smoke rising from, campfire. Have I been to this ruined portal before? We're just in for a world of discovery today. Okay, yeah, I have found that one already. Wait, I left perfectly good iron nuggets there. I don't have the inventory room to take them. It's only one ingot. Wait, is this the same map or is it different? I can't actually tell. I think it might be the same one. Oh, it totally is. I'm a sucker. Well, that was a gigantic waste of time. But at least I found that village. I didn't notice that the first time. I don't think I'm gonna bother going to it now. I'll just sort of leave that as like a mental I'll just sort of take a mental note of it. Now comes the issue of getting home, because I don't know what the coordinates of my house are. I just haven't bothered to write it down. Oh, it wasn't an issue at all. I found it pretty easily, but I guess I should take the opportunity to make a note of that. It's about 250, negative 400. Okay, we got a lot of great stuff from that. Let's go ahead and put some of it down. Might as well use these carrots, because I didn't plant that many carrots before. Yeah, I only planted one. Well, I think I'm gonna call the episode off there. The recording has only been going on for 30 minutes, but I did tell some pretty long stories. So I'm not sure how long the episode will be. I hope it's like a reasonable length. I'm just feeling pretty sleepy. I should get to bed. So I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed those stories, let me know. I can always share more. I have a whole lot of them. So, alright. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.